Look, it's time to reopen a serious debate on this show because the Philadelphia 76ers, whether you like them or dislike them, are true title contenders for this season. And in terms of talent, they have two top-tier level talents in this NBA. And we saw when this pairing came together just after the trade deadline, all of the conversations were up. All of the debates are out, but there's no two ways about it. Whether or not you like their playing styles, their playing style generates one of the best pick and rolls in the game. And also, either of them can go off for 40 points in any given night. So I would turn around and say to you, now that the trade is settled and we have the theoreticals behind us, we can turn around and actually assess these two. And whether you like them as part-time or long-term, they have the opportunity to now build real chemistry as we go into the postseason. So I think it's fair to turn around and say, and I'm going to leave this as an open topic first, because BJ, I want to hear your opinion on this, that Harden and Embiid are the best duo in the NBA right now.
I do not feel that they are the best duo in the league, and because of the following, right? You know, Joel Embiid clearly is in the MVP race for MVP this season. However, I don't think James Harden has had what we typically would say a James Harden season. And I don't think the combination, other than them playing screen role, has shown to be very lethal as they've gotten together here over the last, 15 or 20 games, what they played. I don't believe they are the best duo in the NBA. I can think of a couple just right off the top, you know, whether it's Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, Devin Booker and Chris Paul, for instance. And, you know, if you're asking me who is the best duo, because there isn't any duo. When you think of a duo, you always think of a team that's has done something together. Well, they haven't done anything together yet. They both won championships separately. But I think if you're saying who's the best duo currently now in the NBA, it's Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. And right now we see their potential of what they could do together, but individually, right? They both won. We know what they're capable of doing. But I think if they have the possibility of winning a championship together, I think they solidify themselves as the best duo currently now in the NBA.
Mo, look, we've looked at the style of Harden and we've thought about the different ways in which he would incorporate into this Philly team. But the accolades speak for themselves on what James Harden can do, and we've already seen what Joel Embiid can do when he's given game time and consistency on the court. But looking at it and assessing it, do you believe they're the best duo in the NBA right now?
No, they're not the best duo in the NBA. And BJ Armstrong, guess what? Neither are Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. I can't go on what you've done years and years ago. I can't go on potential. Oh, if we figure it out, we're going to be the best duo. I can only go on what I've seen. So let's look at what we've seen. Let's say since the trade deadline, since James Harden went over to the Philadelphia 76ers, they started off nice. And then Brooklyn came into their building and whooped them. And then they've gone up against other big teams, got whooped again. Okay? Add to the fact that teams seek out James Harden on defense and target him. How are you the best duo if half of your duo is getting bullied on the defensive end? Okay? Then we want to talk about Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, who are both individually great players. Well, when Kyrie Irving plays for the Brooklyn Nets, they have one of the worst defenses in the history of basketball. It's unspeakable. The Brooklyn Nets. We're talking about they're the best duo. If they're the best duo, why are they the 10th or 11th seed in the Eastern Conference? If you're the best duo in basketball, you're not even in the playoff spot. Come on, let's be real and let's call it what it is and let's be honest here. The best duo in the NBA this season is Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and no one else even comes close.
My question to you would be, you say they're the best duo in the NBA, and 2022 might support your case. But wouldn't you turn around and say, wait? But wouldn't you turn around and say what has been proven in this league also needs to add as an evidence factor within this debate? Yes or no? In terms of what Giannis Antetokounmpo and Chris Middleton have done. Well, Giannis Antetokounmpo and Chris Middleton won. They're a duo.
Milwaukee Bucks. No, they're not a duo. Let's talk about duos. A duo is when you have two stars on each wing. The Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis is a superstar, and then Middleton and Drew Holiday together are on the tier below. So they are, if anything, a big three, because you have to respect Drew Holiday and put him in that conversation with Chris Middleton too. So there's a difference between having a big three and having a duo. When the Brooklyn Nets had James Harden, that was a big three. Now they've got a duo. The Milwaukee Bucks, they have either Giannis, who's a transcendent superstar, or they have a big three. They don't have a duo. You can't just pick and choose one of those two to take because they're both integral pieces and on the same level of all-star status.
So then how do you respond to the Chris Paul and Devin Booker? Because that was a suggestion from BJ, and they went to the NBA Finals last year.
Oh, they're great. They're a great pair of teammates, no doubt. But they're winning the team brand basketball. It ain't the two of them carrying the squad. It ain't the two of them carrying the squad. JD, tell me how many points Chris Paul's putting up this season. He's playing great. And he's making life easy for the role players and the big men. Fantastic. But we're talking about superstar duos. Two guys that are going to go out and get it done together, irrespective of what the other three guys on the court are doing.
BJ, I'm gonna let you
I think Mo. I think. Listen, yeah, no. I think when you talk about a duo, right? You talk about your impact on winning and what they do, and at this stage for Chris Paul, what he's been able to do, and I know it may not show up in the points per game for him, but his ability to run a team, to figure out playing who needs the ball, so forth and so on. That says something about him. I mean, he was an all-star this year.
Amazing.
So I think they are a duo, right? For him, the ability to manage the game, that's a skill all into itself. The hard thing about saying who is the best duo, because you have to achieve something, right? And when you talk about Booker and CP3, they haven't won a championship together. When you talk about Kyrie, Irving, and KD, separately, they've won championship. They haven't won it together. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, they haven't won a championship together. And Joel Embiid and James Harden haven't won a championship. So now what we're looking on what they could be, what they should be.
I'm looking at this season and who's done what.
Yeah, at the beginning of the season, this Boston team, they were really struggling. Now, however, they've turned it around there in the second half, and give them credit because of their defense. It hasn't just been two guys. They haven't just been two guys what they're relying on to carry a group of players. This team has been built around defense. In particular, your favorite player, Mo. Your
Marcus
favorite
Smart.
player has contributed significantly,
Massively.
Mo, and don't make me
I'm
go
so
here.
happy.
Because
Man,
Mo,
I'm so happy
Mo,
you said it.
don't go there.
I'm
Because
so
Mo,
happy
if I
you said
take
it.
if I take Marcus Smart off that team, we wouldn't be sitting here and your guy, the Time Lord, who's hurt. And Al Horford.
They took the Time Lord off and they're still winning.
But we're not expecting them to win.
They took the Time Lord and they won by 42 on Sunday night.
But if you take those guys off the team, we do know that this team, you can't just put those two and plop them anywhere. But Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, you can just about plop them anywhere with us three, and those guys will probably win. Okay. And the only reason they're in the 10th spot right now, hold on. The only reason they're in the 10th spot is because of Kevin Durant's knee injury. Okay. If he didn't miss that many games, they wouldn't be in the, where are they, in the 10th spot right now in the play-in? So injuries are a part of it. However, what we must say here is which duo has the ability to carry. If you're just saying carry a team, I think without question, Kyrie and KD are, they are a duo that, you can basically put a lot of different pieces around them and they'll figure it out as long as they're healthy.
You say you could plop them in with the three of us and it's going to work out. Well, guess what? Let's put them in with Andre Drummond, Seth Curry, Patty Mills, and whoever you want to take from the Brooklyn Nets roster. That doesn't get away from the point they have the worst defense when Kyrie's on the court playing. So, he can carry, he can cross the ball over really nicely. He can hit really tough layup shots. He can make all the highlight plays, but that hasn't translated into winning games. How many games have they won combined when they're both out on the court together? Because it's not like chemistry and they've won every game since then. They were great before that, but ever since then, Kyrie's back to full time now. I've not seen it translate into wins. I've seen them lose games. I've seen them lose to the Atlanta Hawks with KD putting up 55 points the other night. So we're talking about carrying and winning. Well, the ones you picked as the best duo in the NBA, they haven't been winning games. Since the All-Star break, how many games have they won? Since KD's come back from his injury, how many games have they won? You could say individually, they're talented, no doubt. But we're talking about duos and we're talking about Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. On offense, they put up 30 each, win the game comfortably. Celtics win by 20 a night, 30 a night, 42 the other night. That's the best duo in the NBA. You can make a hypothetical case, if they figure it out. If they lock in defensively. If everyone's healthy, these guys will be the best. You could put them on any other team, they'll be the best. Well, I can only go on what we've seen this season. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown have been the best duo in the NBA. That's it. Final, full stop.
For half of the season, for half of the season, we can say that. For half of the season,
okay,
we can say that since January.
Okay, but for half of the season, and they still okay. But even just playing half of the season, they're second place in the Eastern Conference. Okay, that's with them playing half the season. In your words, KD missed 2 months with an injury, and the Brooklyn Nets plummeted to 10th. So if you're saying that the Celtics only played half the season, well, KD played more than half the season. And yet somehow the Brooklyn Nets ain't in second place in the Eastern Conference.
I tuned out after BJ said that me, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and us three, we could go and get a ring together. I was just picturing myself as a corner three shooter. I know Mo's got handles, yeah, and I know BJ's got championship accolades. So I was just picturing myself with Larry O'B in my head. That's what I was picturing. Yeah, that's what I was picturing.
Man, I'm picturing playing a lot of help defense.
On who? On who?
Mo, I just want to know
why. Wait, no, BJ. Help defense on who? Yeah, who pushing help defense on?
I don't know.
The other team's primary
I'm giving Mo a new name, the Dancing Bear. He's the Dancing Bear. He's just dancing around. He's dancing around.
That's my boy Yabusele. I can't say that name. Man, I speak in facts. You guys are speaking hypotheticals. I said straight facts.
That's true. I'm not gonna lie. The eye test doesn't lie.
Okay, what's
been a good year.
Yeah. All right.
2022 has been a good year for the Boston Celtics. It has been. Whether or not it can round off to what you want is going to be very, very interesting. That's what I will turn around and say.